was a severe shortage of housing after World War II. People needed employment too, and you had government willing to step up and do something about it.
Have we vision? Have we courage? Shall we build and rebuild our cities, clean again, close to the earth, open to the sky? Can we afford a house, a neighborhood, a city as good as this for everyone?
You had architects and designers committed to using architecture as a social tool to improve the living quality of people. Garden apartments teach us a lot about creating strong communities, creating a lifestyle for people in using density and still maintaining a green, open-like space. The idea was that you would have the best of the urban development and the best of the rural country life and creating apartments within a park.
Here we are 15 minutes from the airport, from the beach, into downtown Hollywood. This is where several times a year we have jazz concerts, people set up tables, a picnic. During the summer we have movies outside at night. We've lived here, it's almost 8 years now.
Family, like an extended family.
Here on a weekend we may never get in the car because our social life really revolves around the village.
It didn't look like it does now. We were looking for we love mid-century modern architecture. When we pulled up, I thought it was the projects. There was a lot of dead grass, a lot of dead trees, but I remember when Stephen set foot on here, he saw past all that.
The original design intent was a landscape which would be used by the people who live here. Not so much that you look at it, but really you live in it and you use it. It brings people out. The garden courts had an outdoor room with benches planned, with shrub walls, a ceiling of the tree canopy. So again, it would bring people out to interact, a quiet spot to read. You could watch your children play nearby. Simple things like the steel casement windows, they're really such a character-defining feature of this really simple architecture, and to remove those and put in aluminum or these plastic windows doesn't make sense from a sustainability point of view, but it also sort of strips all the character of the building. That they're so simple, and just these small little details make all the difference. Since we've really in the last 5 or 6 years proactively and aggressively have been working to restore some of the features that were lost and doing a lot more research, I think people will really start to understand how important and unique the place they call home is.
Designation means that you can't demolish it, can't demolish the building unless preservation is infeasible. That doesn't mean that you can't change it or that you can't add units in some cases. What it does mean, though, is that you have to appreciate what's there, and you have to be creative and you have to preserve what's there. So in that sense, it helps. The other thing about it for Los Angeles is that you have most of these are under rent control. And so what it means is that we're saving a stock of housing, affordable housing for working class people. At Lincoln Place, they all knew each other. They had a very, very strong community, and they were threatened with eviction because a owner wanted to come in and demolish all of it and build luxury apartments and condominiums.
We went knocking on doors, asking people, this is who we are, will you please sign this? And they all said, oh no, we don't want Lincoln Place to be demolished. We love it, It's like an established 38 acres of neighborhood, and that's what we want. And when this was developed, the Penmar Park, which is kitty corner of the property, was built then also for this community. And that public little golf course that is on Rose Avenue was also built for this community. If it weren't for Lincoln Place, this whole neighborhood would not be what it is. And it's a fabulous neighborhood.
What's happening at Wyvernwood and Lincoln Place are very, very similar. You have about the same area. Wyvernwood was built earlier, and so there's even more green space. But you have, in both situations, a workforce housing being threatened with demolition and being replaced with market and luxury units.
Y aquí tengo como unos 35, 36 años viviendo aquí en Wyvernwood, en ese lugar. Como estaba diciendo antes, la mayoría de personas aquí era gente blanca, la mayoría estaba muy hermoso también porque la gente blanca como que la respetan más y saben pelear por sus derechos. Al latino lo subajan y eso es lo que no nos gustaba. Entonces los cambios que vimos, que ya descuidan más el lugar que cuando vivía la gente anglosajona o europea. Porque dijimos desde una vez, este lugar se hizo para ser comunitario. Desde que se fundó, desde que se construyó, era para crear una comunidad. Y se ha logrado. Este lugar, si se tumba, es donde serían los edificios más altos, serían los rascacielos. Y es el lugar más importante para vivir nuestras tradiciones, ese lugar. Entonces todo esto nos destruirían, donde hemos vivido todo lo más hermoso.
New modern buildings, taller buildings, they may be luxurious, but the biggest luxury is that friendliness and that sense of community that we have created.
I'm very proud to throw my support behind the community that you see here that's saying we want our community as it is. Yes, it needs improvements. We'd rather see those billions of dollars invested in what exists here now.
We're focusing on preservation of historical buildings, preservation of our culture, of the sense of community, of the events we've created here, and the families that we've created here as well.
This architecture was designed to create quality housing for working class people. And preservation allows us to do that, to maintain that. In areas that are threatened with gentrification, where moneyed interests want to take over, where rent control is dying, where people can't afford to live.
We'll never have this open land to do this sort of thing again, and so we really have to preserve the ones that we have. They're some of the finest examples in the whole country.
Y no hay un lugar como este que exista para estimarse igual. Pensamos que ese es un pequeño pueblo dentro de una gran ciudad. Se puede decir es una joya aquí adentro.